As Etsy sellers, we're constantly trying to figure out how to break through the market saturation and get our shops discovered. It can be really disheartening to put so much time and effort into creating your products only for them to be buried on the 50th page of search results, am I right? Well, friend, I've been there and I know how frustrating it can be, which is why I want to come alongside you and help you out in this area. In today's video, I'm pulling back the curtain and sharing my top 3 tactics for getting your shop found and making consistent sales. After 9 years selling on Etsy and a multiple 6-figure shop to show for it, these 3 strategies together have worked time and time again and have sort of become my discovery trifecta, if you will. But enough talk, let's get into it. So obviously our goal as Etsy sellers long-term is to create the kind of momentum where we're not having to push our shop out that much, but it's just organically being found by the shoppers who are already searching on Etsy. But in the beginning, it can be really hard to get that kind of traction going until you actually drive some traffic first from external sources. Now, what I mean by an external source is a platform outside of Etsy where you're going to be doing some marketing and letting the world know that your shop and products are available. The truth is, no one's going to know you exist unless you tell them about your store and share about what you have to offer. So to do this, we're leaning hard into this first strategy, which is content marketing. So with content marketing, this can happen on a lot of different external platforms. It could be a social media platform, it could be a blog, it could be a search engine like Pinterest or YouTube. It's just somewhere where you are creating useful and valuable content to be able to find and serve your target customer. I would say for the majority of us, especially if you're just starting out and just getting used to content marketing, picking a social media platform is probably your best bet. So this is going to be any platform like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. There are a lot of different ones to choose from, and don't feel like you have to be on all of them at once in the very beginning. Just choose one that you're either already familiar with and feel comfortable diving into, or the one that you feel like your target customer would most likely already be hanging out on. So for instance, if your target customer is a teenager, they'd probably more likely be on TikTok than they would be on Facebook. In a reverse scenario, if your ideal customer is, let's say, above 60 years old, they'd probably more likely be on Facebook than TikTok. So just think about who you're wanting to serve with your products and your content and where they would most likely already be online. Now, once you get the hang of and get some momentum on your first primary platform, then you can always establish a secondary platform so that you can widen your reach. But don't get too overwhelmed with this. Picking one in the beginning and focusing in, getting really specific with that one is the best bet. And then you're able to branch on once you've already gotten a foothold there. So once you've chosen your external platform that you're going to be driving traffic to your shop from, the key here is that you have a steady mix of different types of content to serve your ideal customer. So assuming you've already done a little bit of the work ahead of time to know who your ideal customer is and who you're trying to draw in, then you can create specific types of content that serve them, that give value to them, to help them engage with your brand. So I like to think of content in 2 different buckets. So one bucket is give content and one bucket is ask content. With your give content, you're giving value, anything that your target customer would find valuable or something that would add to their life. This could be something entertaining, educational, aspirational. It could even be something like a behind the scenes look at your business, something that will really intrigue them and motivate them and cause them to want to learn more. This is all give content because you're giving them a peek into your brand, into you personally, or even with educational give content, you're giving practical solutions to their pain points and struggles. Now, this assumes, of course, like I just mentioned, that you've done the work up front to know who your target customer is and to know what their struggles are. And once you've pinpointed those things, you can create content that serves them in that way. Now, it's great to start out if you're just beginning with a lot of give content. You want to give first and provide value to bring in your target customer. This is what's going to cause them to engage with your brand and your account the quickest. But of course, we can't make money as a business if all we're ever giving is this type of content. So it's good once you have your shop established and you've got your products ready to offer that you're mixing in some ask content as well. So this could be content that's centered around letting your audience know about a new product you have for sale or a discount code or a flash sale. These could be straight up promotional posts or even an ask for them to join your email list or to follow you on a different platform to grow your audience there. As long as you have a steady mix that's rotating of different types of give content and different types of ask content, you've got the makings of a really healthy social account that can grow and serve your target audience well. The point of this, remember, is not just to grow an audience for the vanity metrics like likes, follows, subscribers, comments, but it's to eventually point them to your your shop and drive traffic to your shop so that you can really drive some of that momentum in the beginning and get some sales going quickly in your shop, which will then help your organic reach on Etsy itself. The key here to growing on a social media or external platform is consistency. I know you've probably heard this before, but it is so true. The more consistent you can be, the quicker you're going to grow, the quicker you're going to reach the people that you want to reach. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be posting every day and just driving yourself into the ground trying to create all kinds of daily content, but it does mean that you need to establish a rhythm that works for you, a cadence or a pace that works for the season of life you're in, and that you can actually hold up and be consistent with for the long term. Whether this is once a week, twice a week, you can determine what it is, but pick a certain cadence or rhythm and stick to it. Now, a couple tips here after you've chosen what platform you want to be on. Number one is that you can research strategy and tactics that are specific to that platform. So if I've chosen Instagram, let's say, the strategy that I need on Instagram to know how Instagram's algorithm works and how to actually create posts that are going to reach farther is going to be very different than what I'm going to do if I'm on YouTube creating content. They're two totally different platforms with two totally different algorithms that work in specific ways. So choose your platform and then research that specific platform. There's tons of great free information online that you can find to really lean into the platform that you chose, learn how the algorithm works, learn what kind of content is working best currently for that platform. Second tip here is that you want to engage. Once you're on your platform, you don't want to just be posting and ghosting, which I've heard people say for basically just throwing up a post on your account and then leaving and not even responding to any comments or any engagement that comes your way. You want to be responding to people's comments, really making an extra effort to engage with the people who are engaging with you, and also being proactive to find other accounts to go out and comment on other people's posts and engage with them. This back and forth proactive engagement on whatever platform you've chosen is definitely going to help you grow quicker and grow wider really fast. And third pro tip here is that you want to use your social media or your external platform that you're on to point people to join your email list so that you can start building your list of subscribers that you can email. And this leads right into strategy number 2, which is using email marketing. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, surely there must be something more exciting than email that we can talk about here. And that's what I first thought too before I actually saw the power of an email list that could drive traffic to my shop. So let me just go through quickly with you why an email list is so important and why it actually is a really exciting topic. When it comes to email marketing versus social media marketing, if you were to poll a large group of business owners, I guarantee the majority of them would say email marketing drives the vast majority of their sales. This has been proven time and time again over the years, and still email today is the best form of digital marketing, the most reliable form, and the one that brings the biggest return on investment. So while I like to use both together, I think social media and email marketing complement each other really well. I would always take my email list and the ability to email market to my customers over social media any day. Now, email marketing can be something that's really easy to just overlook or put on the back burner, but I would encourage you, no matter where you are in your business journey, even if you're just starting, that it's never too early to start building your list, because you want to get that email list building as soon as possible. A couple of reasons why I love email marketing. Number one is that it's not reliant on a social media algorithm that can pick and choose basically who sees your posts and who doesn't. When you have an email list full of subscribers who have opted in voluntarily and said, yes, I'm interested in what you have to offer, then you have a whole list of people that you can email, and it'll be delivered to their inbox every single time without fail. You can reach the people that have said they want to hear from you, and you're not relying on an algorithm that could just be changed at any time and you never really know what kind of reach you have. With an email list, you can reach people who have already purchased from you, encouraging return business, and you own your email list. You own that list of email addresses, unlike on social media, where any of these social media platforms could technically be shut down at any time. And then if that's your only platform you've been relying on to grow your audience or your list of customers, then you're left with no way to contact them in the future. An email list is a direct line of communication with the people who have purchased from you and your target customers that you can rely on again and again to continue marketing and growing your brand. So let's go ahead and talk about how to start building your email list. The first step here is that you'll want to decide on an email service provider. There are a lot of different options out there for providers that can do different things when it comes to email marketing, but you'll need to decide on one that you feel like is the best fit for your business and what you need. We'll talk more about this in just a minute, and I'll give you a recommendation of one that I really love. Then once you've chosen your email service provider, you're going to decide on a free opt-in. This is something that you're going to be offering to people who subscribe to your newsletter for free. So back in the day, it might have worked for people to say, hey, join my newsletter here, and people would opt in and subscribe voluntarily. But in today's world, people don't really want another newsletter. They really don't want to subscribe to another thing just for the sake of receiving more emails in their inbox. This is why now we have to offer something for free. This could be a discount code that they can use. This could be a code for free shipping. This could be a downloadable resource like a guide or a PDF checklist or a cheat sheet. Something that goes along with your product so you know it'll be useful and valuable for your target customer, but something that can be automatically delivered for free right when the person signs up. There are so many different great ideas for lead magnets out there, and I want to help you out by giving you my free guide of 38 different lead magnet ideas. So if you want to be really creative on this and think through what would be the best, most attractive and appealing offer for your target customer, then definitely grab that free guide to help you decide what would be the best opt-in to offer for free to build your email list. I've got the link for that in the description box below, so definitely click over and grab that when you're done watching this video. So once you know what your free opt-in is going to be, you've got your email service provider, then you're going to set up a landing page. Now, a landing page is not a full website, so you don't need to feel intimidated here. It's a very simple page with one single purpose, and it has a very simple form on it so that the person that's wanting your free opt-in can enter their name and email address and click submit, and this will automatically subscribe them to your email list and deliver them the automatic free opt-in that you offered them. So it's a win-win on both sides. They're getting the free thing that they find really valuable. You're getting their email address on your list. Most email service providers have the ability to build a landing page, even if it's just something very simple inside of that software. So once you've built your landing page, you've got it all set up with your automatic delivery of your lead magnet or your opt-in, then you're going to set up some automated emails to be delivered right when the person joins your list. So like I mentioned, the first thing that should be automatically delivered to them is that delivery email with the free opt-in. So you're delivering whatever it is that you promised in an automatic email, which again, most email service providers have the capability to set up these sort of automations. And then you're going to want to nurture those people on your list by sending out some welcome emails, some things that introduce yourself more, maybe introducing your brand and what you're all about. And then once you've got people joining your list, you want to continue nurturing those people on your list so that they really are warm leads and they're ready to purchase when you have something to offer them. Now, like I mentioned before, there's lots of different choices when it comes to an email service provider, but one I want to mention here, because I think you may already be using this, especially if you're an Etsy seller, and that is Everbee. So if you're not familiar with Everbee, they are an Etsy specific research tool and Chrome extension that you can install and use for your Etsy product analytics research, all kinds of different things for Etsy sellers to really level up their game when it comes to optimizing their listings. If you're not familiar with Everbee, you might want to look them up and see all the different capabilities that they have. And I actually have a link for Everbee in the description box of this video if you'd like to try them out. But the exciting thing here is that Everbee now has an email feature. So let's hop into the Everbee Chrome extension real quick and I'll show you how this looks. Okay, so once you've installed the Everbee Chrome extension, you'll have it here on your left-hand side. And so you'll just click on where it says Everbee email, and this is what your dashboard will look like. One reason I love this is because if you're already an Etsy seller, and so it's not just an email service provider, but it's connected with your Etsy shop. So along with the normal things that you'd be able to see inside your ESP, you can see your revenue, number of orders, and different things that are connected straight from your Etsy shop. Here you can see your recent campaigns and get all of the data that you need from what's been going on in your recent activity. Now, before I show you all of the features of Everbee email, I wanted to mention that recently at the time of this filming, Etsy did just announce a new email policy, basically saying that they're no longer going to be sharing customers' email addresses directly with email integrations. So this does affect a little bit of how Everbee email works from what they did in the past, but it still has so many great features. And there's a little bit of a workaround that I'm going to show you that helps you to still use this and still be effective with your email marketing, even with this new announcement from Etsy, and still be in complete compliance with their policy on communications and email marketing. So let's click over to campaigns. This is where you'll see both your order campaigns and your subscriber campaigns. So once you get people subscribed to your list, you can send out things like a welcome campaign. These would be automated emails to welcome them to your list, and you can do one-time broadcasts as well. So if I were to click on new campaign, I can either start from scratch or choose one of their really useful templates that they have here. So they've got some welcome email templates as well as things like a Black Friday template, Happy Holidays, Thanksgiving, and they are continually adding to this template section section as well, which makes it so much easier on us to not have to start from scratch. So I'm going to come back to that and show you a little bit more about that in just a minute, but I do want to walk you through what this sort of workaround is, taking into consideration Etsy's new policy. So if I come over to subscribers, I can see how many are subscribed and not subscribed, but I can also click view subscribe page. Everbee gives me a specific landing page, just like we were talking about, for people to enter and join my list. So here is a little page where I can customize the colors and what my landing page says, but let's click on this to view what it would look like. So this is what my Everbee subscriber landing page looks like. It's simple and easy for people to just enter their name and email and subscribe to my list. And I can set this up however I like I mentioned before, maybe mentioning whatever my free opt-in is. But here is where people are going to subscribe. So this is in compliance with Etsy's policy. If people are voluntarily joining your list, that is completely and totally allowed by Etsy still. So people can join your list and become a subscriber because you've offered them that freebie or opt-in. And then once they have voluntarily opted in, they are one of your subscribers, which means you can send them as many emails as you like. So once you have some subscribers and you're building your list, this is where your new campaigns would come in. So let's say I want to use one of these templates. I can click to start building this email and I can change whatever I want inside of this template. So I can change who receives this, the type of campaign, all of my different settings here. And what I love about this is because it's integrated with my shop, I can actually pull over products right from my shop. So here I can select if I want to pull over products from my best-selling listings, from my featured listings, newest listings, custom listings, and they'll show up right here in my emails. So if I have a new product line I'm wanting to mention or specific ones I'm trying to push a little bit more, I can include those in my email. And what's even better is I can use the share and save link. So if I click here to turn on the share and save link, as long as I've activated Etsy's share and save in my Etsy account, Etsy then takes 4% off of my Etsy bill for that order. So if I use this share and save link inside of my Everbee email, then if someone clicks on one of my products and clicks through and purchases it, because I'm part of Etsy's share and save program, they're going to take 4% off of the order total for my bill. So it's basically like a quick way for Etsy to pay me back a little bit and take a little bit off of the bill I'm going to have to pay for my fees as sort of a little reward for driving direct traffic to my shop and my listings. Now, there are so many different options here. I can change the color of things. I can change the number of products this is showing. So I love that Everbee gives me the option to customize this however I want. So there are just so many great features to Everbee email. I think it's wonderful to use, especially because a lot of us Etsy sellers are already using Everbee. It's just a great way to integrate with your shop and be able to have it all in one simple place. So Everbee email is free for up to 500 subscribers, and then it starts at $10 a month if you grow beyond that. I do have a special link that Everbee was so generous to offer to our audience for a BOGO deal. So if you want to try the Everbee growth plan, you can buy 1 month of the growth plan, get 1 month free with that link in the description box below. Again, you can always try Everbee completely for free, but this is a BOGO deal for their growth plan, which will give you more features and you can see if that's something that would be the right fit for your business. So I'd like to thank Everbee so much for being so generous to our audience with this and for sponsoring this portion of today's video. All right, let's go ahead and talk about strategy number 3, and that is relationship marketing. So here I'm talking about collaborations and networking with others. One thing I absolutely love about relationship marketing is that you don't have to start from scratch. So it takes a little bit of the intimidation out of it when you're thinking, man, I'm gonna have to get on one of these social media platforms. I'm gonna have to build this email list from scratch. I've got nothing, I've got no followers. It can really feel like trying to climb Mount Everest from square one. But with relationship marketing and collaborating with other people who have already built up a little bit of their own audience, you're able to skip ahead a few steps and tap into that audience as opposed to starting from zero. Another reason I love relationship marketing is because there's just something so valuable about being referred to someone by someone else that they trust. If someone that your target customer trusts says, hey, check out this great shop over here, you're gonna really love what she has to offer, and then gives them your name, that builds instant credibility and trust, and it's almost like a trust transfer. Because they trust that other person already, then you're able to gain their trust so much quicker than starting from scratch and coming across their feed as a cold account that they've never interacted with before. And even if they're somewhat interested in what you have to offer, it takes longer for them to sort through what you have and to decide if they do indeed know, like, and trust you. So that ever important know, like, trust factor is built so much quicker when you're collaborating and networking. So there are 2 top ways that I recommend you collaborate with other people. This can be number 1, collaborating with other sellers, and number 2, collaborating collaborating with influencers. So if you're wanting to collaborate with other sellers, this is a great way to join up with someone who might be around the same size as you. Maybe they're in the same season of their entrepreneur journey as you, and you're going to team up for a win-win collaboration where you're both tapping into each other's audiences with something fun like a joint giveaway or a feature swap or a content collaboration. You can be really creative with what you come up with, but the basic idea is that you're doing something together and you're sharing the other person's name and account with your current audience. So they say, hey, go follow her over here. You say, hey, go follow her over here. And you both get new subscribers, new followers, and hopefully new customers. This usually doesn't cost anything monetarily, especially if you're reaching out to someone, like I said before, that has around the same audience size as you, that's in a similar season of their journey as you. Now, one key here to keep in mind is that you don't want to just reach out to anybody and everybody. You want to reach out to people who are offering something that's complementary to what you have to offer. This means that their product is something that's not in direct competition. They're not offering exactly the same thing as you, but they're also close enough to what you offered and related enough to where their target customer would likely be interested in what you have to offer and vice versa. So an example I love to give for this is if you sell baby blankets, a perfect person to collaborate with would be the seller that sells digital nursery art prints, let's say, because you know that your target customer is relatively the same, that the same type of person would probably be interested in both because they're both in the broader baby niche. It really would do no good to collaborate with someone that has something completely not related to what you offer because the audience that they've started to build up is probably not going to be interested in what you have to offer. So you need to find sellers that have the same target customer as you. And the second option here is to collaborate with influencers. So these are people on those external platforms, could be on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. There are influencers everywhere, but this is where you're asking them to feature your shop on their accounts. So this could either be for free product, so you offer to send them some free product in exchange for them featuring you on their account, or you could actually pay them monetarily. If you have a bit of a budget for that, you could consider that a marketing budget to pay an influencer who has an already established audience to feature you and point people over to your shop and over to your account. Again, there are lots of different ways you can do this, but the main idea here again is that you're going to find influencers whose audience you feel like would be in alignment with what you have to offer and who your target customer is. Don't be afraid to just send an ask here. Of course, you want to be kind and professional and you want to be concise with what you're asking of this influencer, but it's okay to find out where they like to receive communication, whether it be an email address, whether it be DMs, but send them a message and basically pitch what you're thinking of. And you might be surprised how many people will be willing to work with you if you explain what's in it for them and in it for their audience. It has to be a win for them and their audience too. Remember, influencers a lot of times are protective over the audience that they've built. They're not just going to recommend anything. So you have to show them why this is a win for their audience and why it could be a solution to their audience's pain points and struggles. If you can clearly communicate that to the influencer in a professional way, you're likely to have a lot of potential for these type of collaborations. Again, this is an amazing way to skip those first few steps, not start from scratch or start from zero, and tap into some audiences that have already been built to grow quickly. So those are my top 3 forms of digital marketing and the strategies that I've used personally and so many of my students have used to break through that saturation and be discovered on Etsy. So I hope one or all of these work for you. And don't forget to click the links in the description box below to grab your free list of lead magnet ideas and to try out Everbee.